titles, health and wellness specialist, badass babe entrepreneur, the founder of Juice, somebody who coaches and leads movements, and she's just doing all of the right things. And she's here today to share with us something really special, Myofascial Detox. Who here knows what that is? Awesome. That's really, really fun. Cool. So you're in for a treat. Thank you so much for being here, Hanna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you.
Whoa. Hey, guys. Woo! Thank you for that. You're amazing. Cool. How you guys feeling? Who's tired? Muscles a little sore? You danced real hard last night, hopefully. Yeah? So we're going to do a little fascia release. I'm going to give you guys all a massage simultaneously. And the most efficient way we're going to do that is we're going to use this special tool. And we're going to use your body weight to release and relax a lot of that muscle tension so we can all boogie a little harder tonight. Woo, down. So she did a great job introducing me. I have a lot of pain. I used to play rugby for the US team, so I have knees, hips, back, and really when I come to these places, I really want to maximize my time with my friends, strangers, connecting, and the way to do that is through self-care. And I really believe this is a really fun tool that you guys can take away with you and just check out for 15 minutes tonight or in the morning and just kind of roll around. We're going to use tennis balls. And I'm going to call up Gala and Kayla. And we're going to hand some out for you guys. And we're just going to roll around. And then we're going to get into a little bit of detoxing and nutrition work. Cool? You guys toss some. Cool. So fascia is a three-dimensional fluid. It holds all of our muscles and skeleton together so that it can move as one. And what happens is sometimes there's obstructions, it's tight, and that can cause pain in different areas. So just to release that gets the fluid moving. Everyone's here heard that we're mainly water, right? This is a big thing. We really need to keep that stuff flowing and moving. First, we're just going to stand up. So if you guys have a ball and you guys want to participate, we're going to start on our feet. I have plenty of balls. I have like 50. So if you guys want to participate, I highly, highly recommend it. Take your shoes off if you can. Get comfy. Gala, can you toss me one? All right, let's all start with the left foot. So when you're doing myofascial, less is more. You want to stay away from any bones, any nerves, any really, really sharp pains. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start on the foot, and you're just going to keep pressing down. Don't start rolling around yet and getting all off balance. Just really soft pressures. You guys might find that it's a little achy in the back near the heel. You can kind of step on it from behind. Mine is in the arch, so I just sit there. And stay on one foot. We're going to do a little bit of a fun thing here. So a lot of the times we want to feel that pain right away. We really want to like deep tissue massage. I spend a lot of money on body work just because of my body. And with this technique, you guys can save, and kind of do maintenance work with this. It's still great to get body work, but it's good to help out a little bit. Now when you start to get your balance, you start to feel your spots, maybe slightly roll front to back with that arch. More pressure, slower movement. So the second half of this, we're going to talk a little bit about detox and really just overall wellness. And this is a practice that is going to help with detoxification, just getting things moving and flowing so that we can get things out of the body. All right. About 1 more minute on this side, and I'm going to show you guys something really cool because I like to see results right away. So let's start pressing down pretty tight. Where's Gala? Okay. You did your right foot. Okay, now turn around, get grounded, and look at someone. And make sure you can see your shoulders. The foot that you just did should be a little bit lower. Do you guys see that? Is my shoulder dropped a little bit? Check it out, check it out. Okay, now we're going to move to the other one. So what's happening is the myofascia is connected from your feet all the way up to the back of your head. So when you move one area, it really shifts everywhere else. You You guys can switch to the other foot. I'm just going to guide you through a little bit, and then you guys can kind of play around on the balls by yourself. Oh, my God. Literally last night, we were up in our cabana just all rolling around with balls underneath us, and it was amazing. Does anyone not have a ball that wants a ball? I highly recommend it. It's a free massage that you're going to give yourself. Okay, so you guys can come down to the ground again. We're going to start on your calves, and we're just going to kind of work our way up the body. Or you can stay on your feet. The other thing about myofascial release is you can spend a whole 15 minutes just on your feet. And I just want you guys to kind of stand and see how you feel now with your feet open a little bit more. Nice. Okay, so we're going to come down. All right, make sure you guys can all see me. The point of this, too, is to be relaxed. Sometimes when I'm doing my calves or I'm just hanging out back here, I find a lot of tension in my wrists. So you can kind of come down to here. The biggest thing with myofascia is up and down and side to side. At first, you'll be on your calf. You might not feel it, like there's a lot of pain, unlike this guy over here already. If you need a little bit more pain, not a little bit more pain, more pressure, put your foot on top of your shin, and it'll get in there a little more. I really like balancing and getting on the Achilles tendon. You guys feeling this? Yeah? Or it's going to be like a nice little mush pile in a little while. So what we're doing here is we're just getting oxygen and fluid and everything, nutrients back to this tissue. You guys know when you crack open an egg, there's that little film part, kind of holds it together. That's what our fascia is. And it can get dry and sticky and tight, and then it doesn't allow us to move the way that we want. So we're just going to stay on one side, and then once I start talking, you guys can switch to the other side and play around. I'm going to skip hamstrings. If you're feeling hamstrings, just put some pressure and roll up on it. My favorite thing, I know you guys, most of you, have foam rolled before. My ITs are tight from boogieing. So roll over onto one side. This could be very painful, so don't start rolling right away. Just find a little bit of pressure. Use your elbow. Hi, Tanny. And make sure you guys breathe. Ooh. After this, you guys should feel longer, taller. Now, when you're doing this kind of work, too, we've all heard that emotions are stored in the tissues. So give yourself some grace. Things might come up. Sometimes I'll get really close to, like, my pelvic area, and it's a lot. Hi. You're probably really limber, huh? Okay, now we're gonna move to the piriformis. So we're gonna do lay on your back. We're gonna do that popular figure 4. So the foot that comes up onto your knee, put the ball right underneath, kind of like the cheekbone, a little out towards the right, not on the bone. And see if you can roll around and find that pocket. Oh, hurts so good. Tanny's my little model over here. You can go, remember the left and right, kind of get out to the outer edge. So I didn't bring enough balls for all of us to have 2. So we're kind of doing it on one, but normally you can take 2 and you can bring it out to the other side. We're going to move it up to our sacral area. Remember, not on the bone, just a little towards the right. And here we want to be very, very gentle with our back. We're really just using the weight of our body to relax into the ball. I know some people use lacrosse balls and golf balls, but I really believe that's just a little bit too hard on the tissue, and it's more about slow release over a daily practice. How you guys feeling? Good? Okay, so now we're going to get into the back. Move it up towards your rhomboids, and gently do a light back bend over it. And just find a spot where you can just melt. See if you can relax deeper than you have all weekend. Shoulders back, hands to the ground. Maybe close the eyes, go inwards. This is a time for you guys. Oh my God. Breath. I'm supposed to talk a little bit about fasting after this, but I think I might just roll around here with you guys. She's fine. Okay. We're just going to keep going so that I can let you guys get to the other side. Whose neck hurts here today? Rubbernecking, looking at all the babes here at the festival. Okay, so you're going to put it right at the back of your skull. Sometimes I hold it with my fingers so it doesn't roll around, and you're just looking for that light release. Head maybe side to side. You guys know your bodies more than anyone else. So you find what feels good, you give yourself the right pressure, find those spots and hold it. Whew. Does anyone not have a ball that wants to participate? It's never too late for self-care. Does anyone want 2 balls to see if they can balance on their sacral? Hand up, you ready? I'm throwing it. Anyone else? Okay. You guys look good, relaxed. My little kitty friend Logie over here is balancing on the back of his skull with his head. And I love being in community because you guys can look around and see what other people are doing sometimes, figure out what works for you. These tennis balls are for you guys for the rest of the festival. So whenever you're just hanging out, take time. Sometimes I get caught in conversations where I'm like standing there for a little while and everyone's just hanging out and my patience are running thin. Just grab the ball, get on the ground, and just release some of that tension from dancing. Okay, so we're going to get into my biggest passion, which is detoxing, fasting, everything health related. I'm a nutritionist. I started an organic juice company 7 years ago with this amazing babe over here. It's all organic, cold pressed. And so we've learned a lot about cleansing the body. At the festival, a lot of things can take toll on our bodies. We can choose things that don't make us feel very energized and revitalized. And my whole mission here has to do with the physical body and cleaning out the body so that we can really live our best lives and be as elevated as possible so that we can do all the other mind, body, spirit work as well. So I really believe that we have a problem here across the world. There's so much disease. Does anyone know the #1 killer right now across the planet? Stress adds to it. Is that what you said? Stress? I think he's saying stress and, yeah, stress. So stress and toxicity to the body runs us down. We need to efficiently get everything that comes into our body out so we don't create obstructions. So 2016, there was 56 million deaths. Of those, 25% of them was heart disease. Heart disease is the failure of the heart working, and it's from obstructions, clogging, mucus building up in our bodies through toxicity and stuff that we put into our body, from the food, the air, the water. The next one is pulmonary disease. Anyone know what that is? Lung disease. Thick coating around our tubes in our lungs. Literally getting clogged up. not being able to breathe, not being able to be the humans that we need to be to go out and do this work into the world. The next one after that, Alzheimer's. Now, something that was fascinating me when I was researching a couple months ago was Alzheimer's. They literally said, we don't know if Alzheimer's is a cause of cell death or if cell death is the cause of Alzheimer's or Alzheimer's causes cell death. So the cell death, when our cells aren't working, we have trillions of cells that eat and excrete daily. If we don't get that toxic waste out of our body, then cell death starts to happen and we can't function at the proper level that we need to. I want to keep this really, really simple just so that you guys have a base of this. The whole idea is to just keep us really clean and working as best as we can. So, has anyone here ever done a cleanse or a fast or drank juice, anything like that? Cool. There's a lot of confusion around this. I think in a world of intellectualism, we've really forgot about being really simple. And you can do things a million ways. But we really need to figure out what works for you guys. And what I describe as a cleanse is really crowd out the things that you know intuitively don't serve your body. Processed food, alcohol, sugar, meat, things that don't digest well in our body, and bring in more of that vibrant, colorful, juicy, live nutrients that flush out our body. So guys, I mentioned about being majorly water. We want to eat things that are really hydrating. Things that are dry, sticky, old, been in a package on the shelves for 6, 8 months, 3 years. That stuff does not belong in our body. And what happens is our body can't break it down. It becomes obstructions. And when that obstruction happens, it gets stuck in the heart. It gets stuck in the kidneys. It gets stuck in the lungs. We get these blockages. And we can't function properly. So cleansing, a lot of different ways to do it. There's fasting. Fasting is completely abstaining from anything. Water fasts, water only. There are dry fasts that are becoming very popular now as well, where you do not drink water or touch water for a number of days. I personally, for beginners, don't recommend any kind of fasting or even water fasting. And the reason for that is you're not giving your body energy to help it heal. Has anyone, dumb, easy question, anyone cut themselves before? Yeah. The magic of the body, it has this very, very innate healing power to want to heal itself. So when you cut yourself, the body, if you give it what it needs, which sometimes is just rest, it will heal itself. And that's what we're doing when we give our digestive tract a break. We're not filling it with everything. Our body's then able to go and heal itself. It's able to go in and scrub everything out. So I recommend, there's different levels of cleansing. You don't have to jump into only juice. A lot of times that scares people because they've never not stopped eating for a period of time. Usually the first time where we experience a fast is when we're very, very sick. We got the flu, our body is aching, and that's because our body is asking itself. It's called a forced fast by the body to rest. It says, I don't want to deal with eating food. Now, sometimes we just put food into our body, and we don't realize what's actually going on. It takes energy to actually break that food down to then utilize it. So when we take that out of the equation, we actually gain more energy to an extent. So a simple cleanse is really, like I said, bringing more of the good, crowding out the bad. You guys all intuitively know what that is. Mainly, I always say stay away from processed food, things that aren't alive and energetic, hydrating. There's a raw food cleanse where you're just eating only raw food for a period of time to feel more energized. And then there's the classic juice cleanse. And now there's no right or way to do this. When my first probably 20 juice cleanses, I was kind of beating myself up because I still had this huge appetite to eat and chew. And I remember my boyfriend at the time, I was like 4th day on a cleanse, and I was like, really, my appetite was just kicking in because I love eating at night. It's a social thing with my friends. I want to connect. And I remember making tomatoes and cucumbers because I just wanted to chew on something. And he's like, what? You're the fasting queen. I can't believe you're breaking it and eating food. And I was like, I kind of like sat with it and I was like, is there a right and wrong way to do this? Now, when I ate that bowl of cucumbers and tomatoes, I was able to go another 5 days with just juice. So sometimes when you're able to just modify it yourself, you're really just crowding out the stuff that might start to creep back in. Juice fasting gives so much energy. The whole purpose behind detoxification and cleaning out the body is to prevent cell death and actually rejuvenate our cells. This is all about cell health. If our cells are sitting in our own toxic waste, think of a river. If one animal goes into a really beautiful, healthy, vibrant, flowing river, it's going to cleanse it out and wash it away. If we had one river for all of Envision to go to the bathroom in, and it wasn't really moving because we had a stuck lymph system, things would start to get really stinky. That's what's happening in our body. We want to be very fluid. We want to have oxygen. We want to have nutrients flowing to everything. So let's talk about the lymph system. Anyone here know what the lymph system is? We've heard a little bit about it. Lymph nodes, when we get sick, they start to get swollen up here. So what's going on? The lymph is 4 times more volume than our blood. 4 times more volume than our blood. And it's like a map. It matches our blood. And what it's doing is it's making sure, it's our immune system. So our T cells live. It matches our blood system, and it pulls everything out. And then it gets excreted through our body, through either our kidneys, sweat, and other ways. So yes, you guys are detoxing out here in the jungle, sweating a lot, or at least I am. So we want that really flowing. It only goes in one way, and it doesn't have a pump like the heart. So the heart pumps our blood all around our body. The lymph nodes do not, or the lymph system does not. The nodes are little containers where it will store anything harmful until it can be taken care of. So that's why when we're sick, the lymph nodes start to get swollen, and that's because we're just backed up. We're not properly detoxing. We're not properly handling the virus, the disease, whatever's inside of us. I personally believe a lot of what's going on in our health is through obstruction of our lymph system and not healing our bodies that way. So ways to detox with the lymphs. So they don't have pumps. How do we get it moving? So the body is designed so magically. We have lymph nodes under here. Our major ones are underneath our armpits and near our hips. So when we're walking and we're chewing, starts to pump those. A little more of this, a little more dancing tonight. Get the lymph nodes going. Whew. How you guys feeling? You guys still playing around on those balls? Yeah? Good. Okay, lovely Mitchie is handing out some fruit. There's so much fruit phobia going on right now. Don't do a juice cleanse. It has so much sugar. Oh my God, what are you going to do about the sugar? Carbon, glucose. I am a huge fan of fruit. It's hydrating. It's beautiful. It smells amazing. It's juicy. It's one of the most astringent things you can put in the body to cleanse it out. Everyone heard about Candida? Candida craze is going on right now. Do you think Candida just got in your body and then just overgrowth? And that they're just eating sugar and it's going out of control? What's going on is we're living in a very acidic body. Acidosis is which is causing all this erosion and this obstruction and this cell death that's going on. When we're not eating an alkaline diet, we get very acidic. Major diseases thrive in an acidic environment. If we were alkaline, Epstein-Barr doesn't exist. Because Epstein-Barr is existing in our sticky, smelly lymph system, Candida is overgrowing to try and compensate with that. So it's not really a Candida problem that's going on. It's really a toxic body that's going on. I'm going to start to open it up for more juicing and fasting questions specifically, and you guys can kind of guide me on what's going on in your head. Anything related to detox, lymph, fasting, nutrition, what you should do, anything like that. Don't be shy. I've heard a lot. We work with lots of people back in San Diego. Everybody is different. Depends on what you're doing. I highly, highly recommend. We didn't really talk about intermittent fasting. It's another type of fasting where you can fast for a period of time and then still enjoy your 1 healthy meal, 2 healthy meals. I've been fasting at this festival since Wednesday on juice only and maybe a shot of tequila. So it's not all have to be one way or the other. So yeah, let's open it up. Anyone have any specific questions on juicing or detoxing? Come on. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Yeah. O-Juice is an all-organic juice company in San Diego. Come take shots with us. One was over here. How do you get started juicing? Great question. So huge. I'm loving the juice craze that's going on right now. A lot of people they ask me, do you think it's a trend? Do you think it's going to go away? No way. Why? Because it actually works. Getting more vibrant, antioxidant-rich produce in your body is never going to hurt. Never. Now, if you go and binge on a McDonald's meal afterwards, we have to balance that out a little bit. Getting started, I always recommend starting slow. If you don't want to do a juice cleanse, it's not an all or nothing thing. Eat a fruit in the morning instead of eating that granola bar that's sitting in a package. I don't care if it's organic. I don't care if it has organic dates and cashews and blah, blah. Pick up some fruit. Start cleansing that way. Maybe just start with 1 green juice. I am a big believer in organic, biodynamic, sustainable, local, whatever you want to call it. Because if we're going to be putting this into our body, we don't want to be adding the toxins as well and the glyphosate. So try and start with organic if you can. If you want to go all in, there's different ranges of juicers all over Amazon. I recommend asking a friend if they're not using theirs because a lot of people have the juicer in the house. It's really hard to clean. That's why we started a business. We were running around juicing for 10 people, and it just got caught up. And we're like, oh, shit, everyone wants juice. Let's do this. There is cold press versus centrifugal. If you're going to make your juice centrifugal, it's not the devil. Just make sure you drink it within an hour or 2. It starts to oxidize. I like to tell people, start with what you like. If you hate green juices, I used to be all about green juices. I was like, no sugar, get me lean. I lost 40 pounds juicing after I tore 2 of my ACLs, and I was just a green juice fanatic. And then I kind of hit a wall. And I started playing around with, and I used to eat my fruit, but then I started consuming more of my fruit juices, and I actually felt more vibrant and vital. More vitality, because I had those carbohydrates. I had the energy to do the work. The juice cleanse is beneficial over a water fast because you're giving your body energy to work with during the healing process, but at the same time, not really taxing your digestive system with whole foods. More questions? Yeah.
What do you say about, because I heard it once, not about fasting, just
Yeah.
in general, that you should not juice your fruits, but you should do with your vegetables.
Yeah, great question. So we're kind of touching on that. He was just saying, don't juice your fruits, juice your vegetables. And I think that where that's stemming from is the fruit phobia. Of you can get way too much sugar into your diet when you are only doing juices. So what's happening is if you go on a 3 to 5 day juice cleanse and you're only drinking fruit juices, sometimes you don't lose as much weight right away because your body hasn't immediately gone into ketosis because it's been providing its body a lot of energy for the time being. But what is happening, we're not really caring about calories in, calories out right now. What we're focusing on is really creating an alkaline environment in our body. When we get alkaline, everything starts to happen. The weight starts to come off because what's going on is we're releasing toxic waste. Our body's starting to operate at a more efficient level. So again, I personally don't believe in that. I think fruit juices are amazing if they're organic and raw and full of nutrients. Just do a variety. And if you want to eat your fruit, great. Chew on your fruit, feel full, and drink some green juices as well. Green juices typically are harder to digest. You're not going to eat a big bowl of greens. 3 to 5 pounds of produce go into one of our bottles. Imagine waking up every morning and having that kale, celery, cilantro. It's not really a sustainable practice for the digestive system as well. It's a lot of roughage. So getting all of that through a juice is amazing. Really easy on the digestion. Question? Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who's here? Who has heard of medical medium? Yeah. So there's a huge celery craze going on right now. At first, I was like a little against it because I don't like to do one singular thing because then people feel like they have to find celery. They can only use celery, or if they're going to their local juicery and they don't have only celery juice like we didn't for a little while. We have a combination of celery juice with other amazing things like cilantro and kale and romaine. And people would come in, oh, no, I can only do celery. So celery is just, keep it simple. I could go through a list of what's going on. What it's doing is it's alkalizing your body, guys. It's really helping with liver detox, digestion. There's a lot of great salts that are in celery juice. But again, you don't have to focus on one singular plant. If it's not grown where you're traveling or it's not grown wherever you are, don't panic. Eat what's locally and alive and vibrant and smells good to you. Fruit smells amazing. Any last questions? Yeah. Yeah. She asked a great question. So another big thing is food combining. Food combining is really important, especially if you don't have a really great digestive system. You don't really want to eat fast-absorbing fruits with slow-absorbing fats or carbohydrates or proteins. What happens is they start to ferment in layers in your gut, and there's gas bubbles, and you're not able to absorb different nutrients. With juicing, it's a little bit easier because it's really quick absorption, and there's no fiber or any actual mass to kind of get in the way. I've studied a lot of different things in nutrition, and I really just bring it back to being very, very simple. A lot of people ask me, what about food combining, or what about frozen broccoli? I heard frozen broccoli was so bad for you. Shouldn't you always get fresh? And then I ask them, did you eat anything processed in the last 2 days? And they say, yeah. Well, don't worry about frozen broccoli if you're still eating cereal or if you're still having an IPA or whatever it is. And no judging to the IPA, but yeah. So just do what you can with what you have. More fresh, vibrant, raw, organic produce. Hydrating. Move that lymph system. Detox the cells, trillions of cells, so that you guys can be really energized. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any more questions, you guys can come find me. Please keep the tennis balls or give them to someone so that they can roll out, and make sure you guys have the best connective time on the dance floor and in the workshops for the next 24 hours. This is the Grand Slam. Get ready. Take care of yourselves and have an amazing, amazing night. Pura vida, guys.